Troy says Fanatics has already disclosed they want their trading cards everywhere: grocery stores, gas stations, drugstores. Sounds like heavy overprinting to me. I've heard the same comment from, I think Josh Luber mentioned that the other night on the Sports Card Investor virtual holiday event. Can you, so what do you think of, how do you interpret a comment like this, Adam?
Well, if you want to grow the bit, you've made some commitments to baseball, football, and basketball. They made some, Michael Rubin and Fanatics have made some very significant commitments to the players' associations and the owners group that require them to sell a lot of product. Now, I would believe that they think that they can make collectibles fun, cards fun and available to a new generation of collectors and to their parents. And that does require having them be on the shelves more than 3 minutes. Because as we all know, the first one of us who sees those 12 Prism Blasters on the Walmart shelf, we're not buying one, we're buying 12. And that's a problem that has to be solved. And so I think they're going to look for the line at which something is collectible and fun with a little bit of a gambling element to it, but is not so unbelievably desirable in the secondary market that it never lasts on the shelves. So it is a great idea, and I think it'll be difficult to implement initially, but I think that they have a good team who can probably make that work. And if you just think about how Fanatics does business, they're unbelievable when a World Series, the day after the World Series, there's just hundreds of products that they're producing for that winner. Cubs win the World Series, they're doing etched baseball cubes and T-shirts and every number of things and putting them out there, and they are collectible, but we're not buying them all up.
Yeah.
But they have value to the people who are buying them, and I think they're going to try to bring that type of collector passion to cards. At least I think that's probably a good plan. It does require printing a lot. So,
but if you can grow the demand, then you can grow the supply.
That's
like,
correct.
what do you? So here's my big question that I have for you. Really is, and I'm just gonna add a bit to it, but put on your Fanatics hat. You are Josh Luber or Michael Rubin or whomever is going to be really calling the shots there. So I guess Luber at this point, from my understanding anyway. If you are managing Fanatics, put on your Fanatics hat, Adam, and tell, what would you, and I ask this because you've got so much experience in the industry, more than most people that walk the planet, actually, from such a wide, a broad range of experience in the hobby. What do you do? What do you do if you're Fanatics over the next couple of years? And what are you doing for the next couple of years? And what are your long range plans? How do you roll out this new business? What changes do you make?
Well,
what do you keep the same?
What do you keep the same? What kind of changes do you make?
Good question.
Now, again, this is more philosophical or speculation than anything else. But obviously, there's an awful lot to print. So like we talked about, so they're going to have to probably create their own printing company or acquire an existing one. And there may not be an existing one that can meet their printing needs. There are a couple very successful ones in this country and in Europe, but short of acquiring a printer, they're going to have to create their own printing facility. And so that's going to take some time to get off the ground. Obviously, I think they're going to begin to get into AI quite a bit, artificial intelligence. And so they're going to need to hire a lot of really good tech people just to build the website and start to look at some of these very high level technologies, because they need to change this industry if they're going to grow it. And that's going to require technology and some very creative thinking, something that's beyond me personally. But again, they're putting this team together that thinks big. So they need to do that. That's big enough. Then they need to start acquiring people who have knowledge in this industry, who also have the ability to think beyond the past, who can come up with innovative ideas.
Yeah.
And they've started doing that, but that's still in its infancy. And then again, of course, they have to make a decision. Are they going to hire the best product developers and start their own Fanatics brands, or, as everybody assumes, they're going to acquire Topps and or Panini? So I think everybody sits there and assumes that they're going to do that. I think that Topps and Panini have the ability to make a lot of money in the next few years that may make it unlikely that they get bought in the short term. But at the same time, if I'm Fanatics, the one brand that I'm most concerned about is Bowman, because if you didn't buy Topps, and Topps could still exist as a very powerful company just based upon Bowman, their Bowman brand, and doing football, basketball, baseball, minor league deals, and NIL deals. Because while I think most of us don't get too excited about any of these pre-rookie kind of collegiate cards that have come along recently, if it's a Bowman Chrome pre-rookie football card of if Trevor Lawrence had an NIL deal in 2019 and he had a 2019 Bowman Chrome football autograph refractor out of 10, that card might be viewed differently than a lot of the NIL cards that are coming out now would be viewed. So I think it's probably imperative for Fanatics to acquire Topps at some point. That makes sense. But Michael Eisner is a very shrewd businessman, and Michael Rubin is a very shrewd businessman. From what I understand, I've never met either of them, but I think at some point that will happen. And then on the Panini side, Panini has put together a string of a couple unbelievable years, and they have 5 years left at least in football and basketball, as I understand it. They can make a lot of money in the next 5 years, so it's not like it's not like the Salustro family would sell that company cheap. So I think it'll be maybe a couple years before you see an acquisition, and if there is one, I think if I have my Fanatics hat on, that needs to be Topps. And again, I'm just speculating. I don't work for Topps or Fanatics, but if I'm them, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm also a big believer that I like hockey, football, and basketball rookies being in 1 year when they are rookies. And I know everybody loves Bowman. Maybe I'll get some flack for this. I love Bowman too, but I look back to 2001. If you were doing this in 2001, and Ichiro and Pujols, they didn't have any Bowman cards in 1999. Their first cards were 2001. In 2001 baseball products, everybody wanted everything because they were the true rookies of Ichiro and Pujols. I would kind of like to get back to that. Yeah. I would like Wander Franco's rookie to be in the current year's product and in every single one, just like we have in hockey and football and basketball. So I think Fanatics may go that route as well, but you can't do that if Bowman is still out there.
Right. No, that's a great call out.
At least that's what I would do.
Yeah. So. No, that's insight that you have that, a lot of people coming in might not have. So hopefully they're listening and watching and listening and can have some of this great advice. And
I don't know if I want them watching and listening.